There is going to be a real estate correction or crash, but when is it coming and how bad will it be? I'm going to give you my thoughts in this video. Before I get started on this, make sure to give this video a like right there-ish, right below there. Give it a like, please, I appreciate it. And stay tuned for Maisie's joke of the day at the end. Plus, we have a giveaway in this video. I forgot to mention in the videos earlier in this month, but we are giving away a free 1-hour Zoom session to one person that comments on our videos. So all our videos in January, including this video, make sure to comment on, and we are gonna pick one of those people and we're gonna do a free 1-hour Zoom. I did a free hour Zoom with a mother and a son last year and it was awesome. We walked through their business and I gave them my advice on what they could do better and how to get them started. So we're doing that again this month, so comment on this video and like this video as well as our other videos. No one knows exactly when this correction is going to happen, but man, they're going to tell you that they know. People are going to be giving you a ton of advice, doing clickbait things to try to get your attention. So just take that into account when you're listening to the people that are giving the advice. This is going to be a hot topic now and will be probably for the next month or two as people talk about what the market's going to do in 2021. So be careful who you listen to. Make sure that they, not saying that they're wrong, but make sure that they know what they're talking about and they have some actual experience in the industry or have access to data and knowledge to come to a formed conclusion rather than just try to scare you with a video. Here's my opinion. This is what I think the market's going to do, and I'm going to tell you the 3 things that I think affect the market the greatest and tell you what those 3 things are doing right now and what I think those 3 things are going to do throughout 2021 and in turn affect the market. As I said, this is just my opinion, but I do this all day, every day. I do own a flipping company that buys over 200 houses a year and have a rental portfolio of single family rentals, apartment complexes, and storage facilities. So I do have a pretty good idea of what is happening in the market, and I look at this data all the time. So again, this is just my opinion, but I think it comes with some fact as well. We are at an all-time high in the real estate market right now. Prices are at an all-time high for several reasons. So most people look at that on the surface and say, there's gotta be a crash soon. I think I saw some videos earlier today that somebody was predicting a crash in 2018, 2019, 2020, and they're like, oh, well, it's gonna happen, we're just a little bit off on our time frame. That's not really being accurate. That's just trying to get clickbait, trying to get video watches. It is gonna happen, but in my opinion, I don't think it's gonna happen this year. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. There's 3 things, like I said, that affect the market, and they are supply, demand, and interest rate. Let's break those 3 things down, say where they are currently and where they're gonna move in 2021 and how that could affect the market. Supply is at a low for multiple reasons. We're still getting out of the 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-ish where things were still at a low. So we're still on the upward swing of that from people not selling or buying. Everything was at depressed and at a low at that point. So that is one small factor because we're pretty much out of that in my opinion. But the supply is low because of several factors, one of them being people weren't really wanting to sell their house. Obviously, all the craziness that happened in 2020 with the virus and everything, people didn't want people tramping through their house and having to get real estate agents in there and do open houses and showings. So people just pretty much held on to their house and didn't list their house. Now that we are coming out of that, there's still some lingering effects. I think 2021 still will be a little bit of a weird year, not like 2020. So for that reason, supply is low. Maybe it'll start to creep up a little bit, but it is at an all-time low. I mean, things are selling 2-3 weeks at the most at market price or higher. So that supply is low. It may start to creep up a little bit, but that supply does definitely not meet the current demand. Speaking of demand is high right now. I don't really have numbers to show that it's an all-time high or not, but it is high because people always want to move. People move, it happens. Certain points in people's lives, they tend to move. So that is still happening to people, as well as people are kind of wanting a little bit more space. People are generally moving towards the Midwest out of the coast because it's a little more crowded out there. And even in the Midwest, people are tending to move a little bit away from cities to try to get more space, to try to have a little bit more land. People are gonna be working out of their houses for the short term and maybe long term more than they were before. And the farther out you move, usually the bigger houses you can get for the least amount of money, and people can work virtually in other states. Their company can be based out of California, and they could be living in St. Louis, Missouri, where the cost of living is a lot less, and be making the money that they're making out of the job in California. So the fact that just people move, because that's what they do, and the fact that people are looking for more space in general, maybe they wouldn't have moved anyway, but the fact now that they want to move to try to get that more space, have maybe a little bigger office at their house that they can work out of, just have a little bit more room to be around. I feel like for a while people aren't going to want to be, you know, nestled together all the time. They're just want to have a little more space to breathe. The last one, interest rate. This is a big one. Interest rates are at an all-time low. I'm using the word all-time quite a bit in this video, and that's the reason why the market's so crazy right now, it's hot right now, because there are all these all-time things happening. There's a ton of reasons why interest rates are low. We're not going to get into them. What I'm going to tell you is it's a fact. They're at an all-time low. You know, they'll creep up an eighth of a point or down eighth of a point here and there, but in general, the past few months they've been at an all-time low, and the Fed has said in their meeting minutes of their meetings that they released after their monthly meetings that their plan is to keep interest rates this low, maybe slightly up over the next 1 to 3 years. It's gonna have to eventually go up. I promise you interest rates are going to go up, but the Fed has indicated they're not gonna raise them at a high enough rate, in my opinion, to affect the market much in the next 1 to 3 years. So we're talking about 2021. I'm fairly confident that interest rates are going to remain low in 2021. So you package all those three things together. The supply is low. There's not enough houses out there. People are wanting to move. The demand is high and the interest rate's low. People can afford more house. Their interest rates are low, so their monthly payment's going to be the exact same as, you know, maybe 5-6 years ago on a house. You know, for a quick example, people can afford a $350,000 house. Their payment's going to be the same as, you know, maybe 3-4 years ago at a $300,000 house, simply because the interest they're paying every month is lower. So they can afford more house because the interest rate is lower. All three of those factors combined, and in my opinion, not one of them is going to shift and move enough to affect the market. I think 2021 is going to be a great market for real estate in general and real estate investing if you buy at enough of a discount. So nobody knows for sure, nobody knows what the future holds, but I'm fairly confident, and I'm going to plan my businesses around the fact that 2021 is going to be a good year. I'm going to update you throughout the year if things change. I'm not just going to let this lie and move along. If I learn new information or things change, I will update you on all my social medias and here as well, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Make sure you're following me on all that stuff. Before I tell you Maisie's joke of the day, like I said earlier, please make sure to like this video, follow all our stuff. I do my best to give actual, tangible, real life advice on real estate investing and the real estate market. All right, here's Maisie's joke of the day. I used to hate facial hair. Then it kind of just grew on me. All right, guys, thanks for watching.